Hello, this is Thomas, K4SWL. If you're new here, I like to do real-time, real-life amateur radio field activation videos. And today I am at Cap Tourmente, which is a national wildlife area here near Saint-Joachim in Quebec. And this is actually my local site. When we're staying in Quebec, we tend to stay in a town called Saint-Fériol-les-Neiges, which is just up the road, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, probably 15 minutes. And I like to come out here. It's a beautiful, beautiful park. And I mean, it's a beautiful day, but we have rain moving in, like within the hour, we have rain moving in. We have activated this, and if I can think about it, I'll probably forget. I'll link above to the video where we activated this same spot 3 years ago. But I like this spot because it's not at the main interpretation center where there's just a lot more activity, a lot more things going on. Like nobody's parked here. You can see this morning it's about 8:30 or 8:45, about 8:40 right now. This morning has been completely just like a comedy of errors. I woke up and I thought, if I'm going to get an activation today, because we've got a lot of rain coming this way, I need to do it early this morning and get it out of the way, because I really wanted to do an activation. And so I got my stuff together real quick, told the wife, hey, heading out the door. She said, fine, go have fun. And I thought I just wanted to head out here and realized that I left my SD card from my camera back home. Fortunately though, I actually had a spare camera in my bag, my old camera I used to use, and it had an SD card in it, so I put the SD card in here and now I'm going. Then I went to the first site. I was going to actually not come into the main, this is behind the main gates of Cap Tourmente, which you have to pay to come in here, which I'm fine with doing, to be honest. But I thought, I'm not going to pay. I'll just be there for a little bit. I'll go to the spot that's outside of this main gated area where I've set up before and done activations. And I knew it would be really mosquito-y there. And I'm actually wearing clothes that have permethrin on them, actually freshly done, again, permethrin on these clothes. But by golly, I got out there and the mosquitoes were intense and I could not keep up with it. They were just, I looked down at my legs and there must have been like 30 mosquitoes around my legs, because it's a marshland out there. It's a marshland all around here. And I didn't want to fight with that at all. And the grass was really tall in this area. They hadn't mowed it yet. So, and it was like it's a wildlife. It's like a blind there for looking at birds, all this wild waterfowl and all those things. So I decided to come out here. And what I tend to do, if you want to avoid mosquitoes, I better talk quickly. I just feel the rain moving in. If you want to avoid mosquitoes, the first thing you do is you try to get in an area where you're going to get sunshine. You try to get in an area where there's a breeze. And you try not to go into like the middle of the woods. And if you do those things, it'll kind of knock down the number of mosquitoes. So I'm hoping that works for me today. But first thing I need to do is get an antenna up in this tree. We're going to try to do an activation relatively quickly if we can. Oh yeah, another thing I did, instead of picking up my own phone on the way out here, I picked up my daughter's phone. Which, by the way, typical of her, has like almost no battery power at all in it. So I don't know that I'll be able to do any kind of spotting or texting or anything. I have no way to text my buddies and tell them to spot me. Okay, now let me think about this a second. I think I'm gonna run the line. I'll run the line over here and actually sit over there, I believe. Well, no, maybe I shouldn't do that. You know what? If it rains, I can always get in my car. So I'm going to run the antenna up over here and back this way, and then hopefully not hit my car when I do it. So let's set down the backpack real quick. Now here's one of the things I love about this backpack, and backpacks like this, is they open up completely. So you can do this. And it's easy to grab things out of here. Like this. This is my throw line. I'm gonna use a 40 meter infed half wave today. I haven't bothered, I'm in a hurry, I haven't bothered hooking up my wireless mics or anything. So we're going to be doing this old school way. So let's see, I'm going to back up here so you can maybe see me put this antenna hopefully in the tree and not destroy my car in the process. Oh, and the entry fee for getting in here, $6 Canadian. Now, the only funny thing about it is, as of tomorrow, it'll be free for like the rest of the time we're here, because Canada's doing a promotion for their national parks, and it'll actually be free. But I like injecting a little bit of money into the parks where I go to activate, because I feel like it's giving them some support. So here we go. That worked about as well as it could. By the way, I'm wearing this big sun hat, not because it's sunny right now, but because it's coated in permethrin too. Let's see here. So let's grab the antenna, hook this up. Yeah, I'm not going to fiddle around with this. I'm going to try to get this done as quickly as I can, get on the air here. So yeah, it's been like one funny thing after. I was like, I can't believe I forgot the camera card. But I pulled it out to upload videos, or to, you know, to do some post-processing, just putting the video together for YouTube. I forgot to stick it back in the camera. So there you go. Okay, let's go ahead and get this antenna up. That's perfect. Let's grab. And yes, I could have done this whole activation from inside my car, but I just like being properly portable myself. So I'm so grateful I brought, it was a last minute decision to actually bring my old camera with me, and I thought, because what happens if my camera goes out or something happens like that? What I'm going to do, because I really plan to do quite a few activations here. It just made sense to bring a second one. Okay, I won't need the little I won't need this base for my seat because I'm on pretty firm ground, so I won't need that this time. I'm sure I forgot something else. If today is any indication, it's probably going to rain on me. It'll probably like do everything. Probably conditions are poor. But you know what? It's all part of the fun. Whatever, right? I'm out here in a national wildlife area playing radio. And so far, the mosquitoes haven't been too bad at this particular spot. Now, when I'm sitting down and I'm nice and you know, settled, I'm sure that they're going to come around me, but I don't want to be too close to the car just so I can get a little bit of this breeze. Let me set like right here. Yeah, that's what I'll do. This will give me a little bit of breeze. See the antenna off there in the distance. Now here's the real deal. I have to really hope that the reverse beacon network is working. Because I'm going to really rely on it today. Like, really rely on it. And I have to be honest, it hasn't been working that well for me lately because propagation's been so poor. So let's hope that the RBN is effective. Hey, mosquito. Yep, smacked one down. Okay. Told you, as soon as I start to like slow down here and I'm not moving, they're going to come around. But this is I have to say, so far I'm not impressed. This is a new permethrin that I'm trying at, mainly because the stuff I usually use, oh, what's the name of it? Is it Walker's? I can't remember the name of it now. The stuff I usually use was out at the store I went to. I didn't have time to go somewhere else, and so I picked up a different brand. So far I'm not super impressed with this brand because I really feel like the stuff I normally use would have been able to keep away the mosquitoes that were over there at that other site better than, I mean, they were landing on my trousers here, so I feel like that was not super effective. Okay, here we go. What do I need now? I need my notebook and my pencil. Here's my pencil. It's a mess in there right now, mainly because I grabbed stuff so quickly to come out here. Okay, rain, hold off for a little while. Hold off for me. I am hearing water landing on my hat right now. God. Ooh, okay. Probably need to move this off of automatic ATU. Yep, it is drizzling on me right now, but maybe I can keep my radio from getting wet. It's not too bad. Oh, I've got to change the message memory for my, let's see, what would I use it for? Yes, record. Oh, no, let me think. I think I only have 3 in this, don't I? I'll make it number 2. There, got my VY2SW call in. It's 12, so it may be 12 or 13. Let's get a little closer here so you can see things better. So actually, I am currently the park leader here with a total of 2 activations under my belt. This will be the 3rd. all the other people have come out here to activate have only done it once. Now, I don't expect that to stay for very long, of course. Please, please, please work. WB instead of WD. He always gives Hazel a shout out. HI8D. Great signal, man. New York is on fire. It's funny how things just disappear. This happened to me before. You heard how there's like a little pileup. Now it's just completely gone. But it's really interesting. It's all in the same area of New Jersey and New York. Well, except for the HI station. This happened to me at an activation, 2 activations ago, I guess, or 1 activation ago, I can't remember now. Very, very similar situation where I had a little pileup and then it just died. Okay, one at a time, so we got a total of 6. I need 10. I'll play radio though until I can't easily do it. Okay, so far mosquitoes are staying away from me. There have been a few around here, but they haven't really bothered me. I mean, I would have been eaten alive at that other site. I mean, just eaten alive. I heard an MV station behind me, but I suspect they were working somebody else that I can't hear. .229, probably in Indiana. Yep. I'm gonna go down to 40 meters. Try 40 for a little bit. See how that works. Man, it is so pleasant out here this morning though. Like, it's not hot. It's just this nice breeze. It's really wonderful. It's going to cool down here just a little bit over the next couple of days. We've got some camping in store. So in the background, there's a lot going on. My father-in-law, after we got here, he had to be readmitted to the hospital back in North Carolina, which kind of puts our trip at in question here a little bit. We may have to go back early, but so far things are looking pretty good, and he's going to be probably placed in a physical rehabilitation center, like a nursing center, for a few weeks anyway, because of the type of thing they're having to deal with. It's going to require pretty constant medications and some physical therapy. So he'll be there, and he'll probably be in good hands with some family members that are there. So we may get to stay the whole 4 or 5 weeks that we're planning to be here, which would be great. So in the background here, what I'm doing is asking my daughter to use my phone to send my buddy Eric a message to spot me on 7063. And the reason I can't do it directly myself is because I won't be able to log into my POTA on here. It'd just be too complicated because I have... Sorry. Did I get that right? Oh. So let me try to get onto the POTA site and at least see if I can at least see if my whoops, where am I? On her phone. What am I in? Oh my gosh. Her stuff's so complicated. Here we go. I'm trying to use her phone. There we go. Is this how she has it set up? Let's see if I'm in here anywhere. Ah. Wait a minute. It has me on 7063. That's weird. Let's try this again and see if maybe it's the RBN's caught up with me. I heard a weak station in there. Ah, there we go. I'm spotted now. Okay. I think this is number 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, thank you. Good. Yeah, we're both about 519 each. Now the pressure's off about getting the activation done, so if it rains, I can just pack up and go, but I'm going to keep going for a while, of course. Gotta get that muscle memory down. I'll get this VY2SW. I'll get used to sending that, and then I'll go back to North Carolina and I'll send it for my first 3 activations. I have a really hard time switching between the two. I may go to 17 meters next, because it's possible it could open up to some DX. Okay, so now that I'm moving bands and I'm going to a non-resonant band, so the 40 meter in-fed half wave over here is resonant on 40, 20, 15, and 10. I'm going on 17. So what I need to do is use my ATU to get that match. So I have to go back in here, put my ATU into auto mode, then hit ATU, and get a match. 1 to 1. Now, there's not a lot of hope here on 17 meters just because these higher bands have not been performing very well lately with the solar conditions, just with it being so disturbed. But it's morning time, and this can be an opening into Europe. So we'll go for it anyway. Tell my daughter to... See, I forgot to put my 17 meter mark in here, so I've got to really make it obvious. Then move to 17 meters. Did the band just die on me? Gotcha. Hold one finger here, just knowing that somebody could call in. And I find it more disturbing. Like I can hit the paddle to make it stop sending the CQ, but it also sends a signal at the same time. I'd rather just I can hit any other button and make it stop. I got 2 stations so far. The bands aren't acting normal. I would have expected 20 meters to be a little further than this. 40 meters extended just as far as 20 meters, if not further. And 17 meters is really going in what I would consider a 20 meter footprint, but you know. See if I'm being spotted properly. What I may do after this is actually hunt. Ooh, oh, it's FT8. Let me go in here and tell it to do just CW. Band mode, CW. And I can see I can easily hunt. Somebody in New Hampshire on 20 meters, that would be awfully close for 20. But I may go in here and see, oh, Prince Edward. Okay, I'm going to hunt. Let's see, 70-43. I have a hunch that's not the station. Yes, it is. Good to get you in there, buddy. There's a park to park. That was fun. Okay, let's see who else I can get. Let's see. Okay. Let's get back up to the top here. Okay, let's try. The rain's starting to get a little heavier now. It's not actually strong yet. I'm trying to find some of the best options for me. Okay, let's get back up to the 20 meter band. Turn off the ATU. I use the ATU there just to make it fast. There's N1BS in Rhode Island. Or someone tuning up, I'm not sure who. You can see there's water getting on the radio and on my bag, but I don't consider this to be very much water. I don't know what that is there. Okay, let's look for somebody else here real quick. Any DX by chance 4029? No. Let's see. There's more stations on 40 now. Let's see if I can find somebody on 20 for 60.5. Okay, I'm trying to hold my hat over the... Gotcha! I'm gonna have to stop after this. It's just getting too rainy now. Okay, 13:31. This was a very successful activation in my opinion. Turn this off. Get ready to put this guy up. I'm gonna have to set it out after I turn it on again, just for the record that I was holding it on. Let's get the logs. Okay, put this up. The rain's really moving in now. I'm not worried about the camera, I'm not worried about anything else other than my radio really. But I'll set this out after I get home. Not worried about my book, because this is a Write in the Rain notebook, which is what this is designed for. Right in the rain. Okay. But I'll set my radio out after I get home so that there's no water in here that's left in here. Let's put this up really quickly. this up. You'll watch me pack up fairly quickly when I need to. Put this pack in here, or this kneeboard in here. Fits in this like ruck plate compartment. Put my daughter's phone up. Next comes the seat, which again I'll probably end up setting out back home. In fact, I'm just going to tuck this in the car because I need this to dry out a little bit. The seat's gotten wet and I don't want to put it up wet. So I'll let it sit out in the back of my car right here. Let's close this up. Let's go back here and oh, it's beautiful here. I tell you what, sometimes when it's raining, it's just beautiful, and this is one of those times. Okay, now let's get the feed line. This was a really fun activation. I'm so glad I did this, and I'm glad I moved here inside the park as opposed to doing it there in the bird watching area. I would have been fighting mosquitoes in some serious way the entire time, and that would have made the activation less fun. Plus, it's just a less convenient spot. If they weren't doing the free parks thing starting tomorrow, I think I'd get a pass here so I could come here way more often, because this is such an easy place for me to go to from where we stay. And it's one of my favorite parks that I go to here because there's just so much room. In Quebec, I tend to go to these urban parks when I'm in Quebec City, and I don't like those as much just because there's less space to set up. I can't put up my big antennas, and a lot of them, at least I feel a little self-conscious about doing that. Maybe I can, and nobody care, but okay, here we go. Let's let that down. And we'll pull this guy through, put up the antenna. Let me take a photo while I'm doing this here. My daughter's phone. This is really funny. You can't see out there, but it is really gorgeous. You can look out here and see the St. Lawrence River. And that right there, there's no way you'll see it on this action camera. Let me see if I can get it to zoom in as much as it can. It doesn't really zoom in much. But right there is the end of Île d'Orléans, which is just a beautiful little island in the middle, about a large island in the middle of the St. Lawrence River, right next to Quebec City. And it's just it's a really nice spot. We love this area so much. We would 100% move here and have like, if we ever decided to have like a second house, I think this is where we'd put it. Everybody in our family really likes this area. So this weekend, I hope to participate a little bit in field day. It's going to be field day. It's my birthday. And also the BBC Midwinter Antarctic broadcast, which is something that I've always listened to. It's become a tradition on the SWLing post, my other blog, that people tune in, make recordings of it, and share their recordings. All those are happening on the same day. But I'm looking forward to field day. I haven't done field day with the Club Radio Amateur de Québec, which is it's a club here in Quebec City. And they're wonderful. Everybody there is really cool. And I've done field day with them probably 2 or 3 times in the past, because I've just happened to be here during field day time, and it's been a lot of fun. Here we go. Here's the end of the rope there. Thankfully, the heavy rains haven't started yet. These won't be until a little bit later. Now we'll put this up, and I think, wait a minute, did I put the weight over there or over here? I think I put it in here. That's what I did. Okay. Thank you for coming along on the ride today, though. This has been a lot of fun. And I got an activation before the big rains came. I don't know what we're doing today. Part of me would like to go out and do some indoor things today while it's raining. What I may do with the rest of the camera battery I have here is get in the car and drive you out through Tourmente. You can see part of the interpretive center area and stuff, which I'd set up too, but I'm not going to set up my big antenna. One time, ages ago, back in, during, what was it, 2016? Did I do it during, I can't remember if it was 2016 or when, but I asked if I could put up a little portable setup just to play a little bit of radio. I don't think it was through Parks on the Air. And the young lady working at the front desk didn't understand what I meant. I mean, like I explained it as an amateur radio operator and how to do all that in French, but, you know, as a lot of people, they're just not familiar with it. And she said, you know, I need to really check with my people before I do that, and they're not here right now. So she said, rather you not set up in that area. And I said, no problem, no worries at all. And so I just didn't set up there. And I haven't bothered setting up in that main interpretive center area since then. But I'm sure if I went in there and talked to the right person, they wouldn't have a problem, because like this time of day right now, it's not busy. I don't think they're going to mind one bit. But okay, let's go in here and go for a little spin, shall we? You can see what it looks like here. Let's see, let me try to get this prepared for me to hold it in the car, which I can do. See the messy car in here? Okay. Here we go. Yeah, it's not too bad yet. The screen's not bad. Not bad at all. Let's do a little tour with the windshield wipers going here. I do love this area. This park has some outstanding, like it's a great place for looking at birds, which I can't say I'm an expert at doing, but I love birds. And so it's always fun doing it. So this is a little bonus part of the activation here. I'm sorry, my windshield is really messy. I haven't had a chance to really clean it thoroughly since our trip, and so there's lots of bugs and stuff on it. So it is what it is. Okay. So this is heading into the main park area. Now, up here somewhere, I'll show you in a second, is the Tourmente. There's like a soda summit there, and it doesn't look to be that bad to get to, but it's a really tough hike. I have to set aside the majority of a day to go do that, and I'm going to see if I can possibly do that this year. It's a strenuous hike. Even when I looked at the soda notes, someone said that, because I've done half of that hike before with family, and I was pretty exhausted after that, because there are just parts of it that are so steep it's hard to even stay on the path, and it's just how they laid it out. And but I really want to activate that one. I'm sure from the summit there's some really pretty views as well. So I just saw this person walking on the way in here. So secteur du centre d'interprétation. There we go. The railroad tracks go through here too, and the railroad tracks are part of the Charlevoix train system, which goes up into Charlevoix. It's something I've always wanted to do, and probably will do with the family sometimes, to take that train ride. I think it's probably really pretty. It goes right along the St. Lawrence, I think, the majority of the time, and all the way from Quebec City. I don't know how far north it goes. I don't know if it goes all the way up to La Malbaie. Maybe it does. Maybe it goes all the way up to Malbaie, but it certainly goes up to Bay St. Paul and that area. We love this whole, like I said, this whole area over here is just something we love going to and exploring. Sorry, I'm probably sounding like a broken record with all this, but it's the truth. Here's the main interpretive center area. It's a really pretty sight. There's the train tracks. And through here, again, I don't think I'm going to get out of the car because I want to get back and have enough time to go do stuff with the family today. They just have electric vehicle chargers everywhere here. I think we could have taken our electric vehicle here. It wouldn't have made sense on this trip because we needed more space than that. But yeah. Let's walk over here. Is that an old school building? I can't remember. It may be closed. But they have these boardwalks set up everywhere so you can walk around and look at the birds in the marsh. And it's really wonderful. Yeah. I love it. Okay, so I'll be coming out here a lot more often, and I may try to look for even some other spots to set up. There are definitely some I can hike to that I could set up. I shot straight across that and didn't even see the stop sign before, but you do have to kind of look. There are no crossing arms or anything here on the railroad tracks, but that train only passes like twice a day or something. It's not often. You can see how sheer that cliff is right there. It's I don't know if you can tell that or not on the camera, but it's really just a really interesting spot to hike and obviously to play radio. Today, the bands were really kind of amazing. I'm glad I wasn't using, the last 2 times I've done an activation here in Canada, I had to use either my AX1 or my AX3 antenna, which are, you know, small verticals, portable verticals. They work fine. And in fact, in both cases, I did my activations with, you know, no problem. Well, it took a lot of time, but they were both days, there was really poor propagation, and it just took way longer. And I feel like on days with poor propagation, you really do need to use a proper wire antenna or something just to make it a little easier to get your signal out there, you know, because I'm only running 5 watts even when I'm using those little tiny antennas. But in both of those cases, it was in an area where I didn't feel comfortable putting a wire antenna up, and so I just did what I had to, and you know, used the AX1, AX3. The first activation really wasn't a problem. In 1 hour, I did 10 contacts, and without too much sweat. The second activation I did, it took me an hour to get 7 contacts, and I only got 7 via HF, and I got the other 3 that I needed to activate the park, I got by doing VHF with my daughters and my wife, which gave me 3 more contacts on 2 meters phone. So I got my 10 contacts. I don't like doing that if I don't have to, but in that particular case, I ran out of time. We had one more spot we needed to go to, and I was pushing up against the traffic that day. So here we're coming up to, there's actually a really cool like farm area over here. They call it the Secteur de Petite Ferme, and it's a really pretty little area too with some older buildings. That's really nice. You can't see everything here from the car, unfortunately, but I do like this area. If you're ever up here, I highly recommend this park, and I think you'll enjoy it. And I don't have to check out, but I can wave. And let's see. We'll pass by where I was going to do the activation earlier, and opted not to with all the mosquitoes. So yeah, today also was kind of indicative of the way propagation's been lately, where you get these openings, and the openings, you just need to take care of it. You need to do them or maximize profit from those openings as much as you can when they happen. And you may notice that, like, sometimes when I hear that happening, like I hear a little pile up all of a sudden, I do my best to try to keep the contacts a little shorter if I can, and a little faster, so I can work through those people more quickly while the conditions are cooperating, because that can just disappear on you. And it happened to me twice before in these other 2 activations, like I mentioned. And then there was just like nothing, you know, there was nothing after that. And this time, though, I think what kind of fascinated me the most was the fact that there wasn't really any rhyme or reason to propagation in terms of like the standard footprint you would expect from propagation. So like 20 meters, I was working all these stations from New York State and New Jersey almost exclusively, and I would have expected 20 meters from here to reach further into like Maryland, the mid-Atlantic states, down to Virginia, North Carolina, and through the Ohio Valley area. That's what I would have expected. But instead, it was working New York and New Jersey, which I think would have been more of a 40 meter, 30 meter sort of thing. So that was kind of interesting to me. 40 meters reached a little further than 20 meters did. And then 17 meters didn't, it was 17 meters. I think I was working still stations I wouldn't consider to be normally in that footprint. So yeah, I can't remember what the speed limit is here. I think it's maybe 50 kilometers an hour. So I'll set my speed to that so I don't speed without realizing it. It's a nice little rural area here. Here are the train tracks again. And nobody's coming. And we're coming up to the spot where you can, if you ever come up here and you don't want to go into the main gates, or maybe they're closed already for the day, this is another spot you can go. It's right behind this sign right here. And you can park at this little picnic area right here. And that's what I did earlier today. It's in this picnic area. But that picnic area is not actually in the park. It's over here that's in the park. And I activated this, if I can remember, I'll put a link to the video. I activated this back in 2022, and there's a blind right there for looking at the birds. And then you can kind of go straight up through there in that path underneath those trees and set up. And that is part of Cap Tourmente. But you are going to deal with mosquitoes there unless you're off season. Because I could not believe the number of mosquitoes that were there. It was absolutely insane. So that was hilarious. I mean, I just put permethrin all over my clothes yesterday. A fresh layer of permethrin, because I've washed these clothes enough that I wanted to go ahead and do it again. And they were still clustering around my legs. I mean, I probably saw 30 of them swarming around my legs there. And I knew that I would not have a fun activation sitting out there. And it's actually, like I said, you always try to find places that are open. Maybe there's sunlight. Mosquitoes like places they can hide in tall grass, and they like places where there's not a lot of wind. So if it's breezy and it's out in the open, and especially if it's sunny, kind of sunny and hot, you won't see as many mosquitoes in those areas. You'll find them in the places where it's kind of shady, there's not a lot of wind, and where they can fly more easily and get around the way they want to. So we'll see if I actually got any bites. I didn't feel like I got any bites out of this. So in that way, the permethrin really worked, but I was a little surprised with how close they were getting to my trousers with all of the permethrin that's on these. So this is so nice. I'm probably going too slow, but I don't care. This is really pretty. Anyway, I've made this take too long here, and I'm apologize for that, but I wanted to take you to one of my happy places. This is my Tuttle Educational State Forest of Quebec. This is it's my favorite park for going out and doing an activation. Well, I've got another one too that I really like in Quebec City, but for where we live when we're up here, this is my favorite of those parks. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for coming along for the ride as well. Thank you to my Patreon and Coffee Fund supporters. You really do make all this possible. Like I've said in my past few videos, quite honestly, the way I monetize my channel is through Patreon. I don't do ads on my channel, as you can see. And what I do with my money from Patreon and the Coffee Fund is I pay for all the things I need to do to do activation videos. I pay for the gear. I pay for my time. Sometimes I'm having to take away time from other things that would make money to go do these things, which is just pure fun for me. I have to I pay for my travels and stuff like that, and I really enjoy doing this. It is a complete labor of love. But after it's all said and done, and I've kind of just taken care of the costs of doing this, the money goes into my family's kind of fund for having fun and travels. And so really it's paying for this trip, which is really amazing. So it's such a privilege, and I really appreciate it. And what I love about it is my family get to benefit from, like I say, all this crazy stuff there. My daughters probably think their dad does, going out and doing activations and making videos. They get to kind of benefit from it. And so it's made all this trip possible for us. And this year we really needed an escape. Even if we can't take our full time we plan to do because of family circumstances, it's really just nice to get away for a little bit and just kind of get away from stuff and take a break. So it's long overdue, and we've really enjoyed it. So anyway, again, thank you so much. And I hope that you have an amazing week ahead. I hope you get a chance to go out and play a little radio maybe. And I hope that you are kind to everyone you meet. Because I do think kindness kind of is the catalyst for the growth of our amateur radio community, but also your community in general. And I can tell you, having gone through Hurricane Helene, your community is really everything. Those are the people you rely on, your neighbors, your friends. Those are some important people in your family's world, no matter what's going on. So be kind to one another out there. And thank you for being on this planet. It's a better place because you're here. Until next time, everybody, I promise you I won't take you on a long trip like this again. Well, I will too. What am I saying? Take care, everybody. And 7 twos.